Which colors are the best to use in vector repeat patterns for sale online?
This video is a part of my full monthly live masterclass from the Pattern Group Coaching membership. Hey there, I'm Oksancia, a textile designer of over 15 years and an award-winning online teacher with over 2,000 students so far, and I live over on oksancia.com.
Tip number 1. You can use any color or combination of colors. The good thing is there are not really limitations when you're selling online. You are the one who gets to choose which colors to use, and you are the person who gets to see which combination of colors works best for your pattern or a pattern collection or a pattern set, and you will be able to actually choose those colors yourself. And this is super cool because you will be able to have no limits. And this is great because there is no limit to which color you will choose. I know some of my students always ask me, but how do I know which colors? This will come later. I'll give you a tip on how to do that. However, just know that if the design and the colors speak right to you, you can use them in your artwork for sale on microstock or print on demand. Okay. Tip number 2, there is no limit to the number of colors to use if you are selling on microstock websites. So, sometimes you're working with a client and he says, okay, so this design will have 3 colors and or this design will have 5 colors. In your files that you're going to sell online on microstock or print on demand, they are usually going to be printed digitally in case of print on demand, or used in many different ways and by many different clients in the case of microstock. So it's not only one client. So there is no really a limit to the number of colors. I've had very, very popular files that sold tens of thousands of times that had many different colors. And I had some very popular files in my portfolio that have sold many, many, many thousands of times that had only 2 colors or 3 colors. So I didn't really see a specific relationship to how many colors you use. The design needs to be strong. The colors needs to work well with the design. But the thing is that you don't really have to worry about the number of colors or limit that number. Okay, tip number 3. Customers who purchase and download your vector artwork files will most likely change the colors to match their projects. And that is okay. I again know that many artists want full control over their artwork. They want to feel that they are the ones who are picking the colors. Well, let me just tell you, ideally that will be great, but your class customers will download your files in case of microstock in particular, and they are the ones who will end up using the same colors that you used, or most likely adjusting them to the project that you want, that they are working on, not that you want, that they are working on. So what I do recommend is being okay that the customer will end up changing the colors. You might eventually hear from the customer, they might show you what they created, but most likely than not, you will not know how they changed those colors. And yes, sometimes it won't look as great, but in most cases that I've seen, customers either changed it to something that was still very pleasing because they were designers themselves and they work for a company, they needed a repeat pattern, let's say floral repeat pattern for their website, or maybe a packaging project. And I learned to be okay that the customer will change the colors if they download your vector file in particular. They also can change the colors on a JPEG file and on print on demand websites like Spoonflower or Society6 or Zazzle. They will not be able to change colors specifically, at least not as of today, as of the day of making this video. However, then in this case, you will be able to have the control over the files. But on microstock, the you release control once the client downloads your artwork. And again, that is totally okay. You do not have to have that control over all the projects. They will use maybe the shapes of your flower, but they might change the color from pink to red or blue. And again, that is okay. All right. Tip number 4, Pantone colors. You don't have to use them on microstocks, but you have to know how to convert your color scheme into Pantone colors. So interesting thing about the Pantone colors is that the Pantone colors are used to print by many different manufacturers of repeat patterns when they are printed on any kinds of surfaces, whether it can be fabric, it can be packaging, it can be plastic, glass, ceramics, any different places the patterns are used, repeat patterns are used. You might encounter that the client will ask you for Pantone colors. So for microstock and print-on-demand websites, you do not have to use Pantone colors, or even if you use them, you don't have to necessarily specify those Pantone colors. However, you might encounter a situation when a client is reaching out to you and they want to buy a specific file directly from you at an extended license, let's say, and they want to actually for you to change the colors of the file that you created and specify specifically which Pantone colors you used in that file. So for this particular situation, this is more of an advanced tip, but it's very, very helpful to have. I had to figure it out specifically for a client project. I want to show you, and I want to show you here. So when you are in Adobe Illustrator, you open the file, and let's say this file does not have any Pantone colors used. What you can do, you can go to your swatches panel. You can open it by window and then swatches here. And then you can go to this little stripe menu on the corner. And then you can go to open swatch library and then go to color books. From there, you can see all of these Pantone colors. You can and you need to ask your client specifically which color book they're going to be using for printing. And these are the options here in Adobe Illustrator, inside of Adobe Illustrator itself. And you need to ask your client which color book they're going to be using. And if they don't know, you need to tell them, please email or call the manufacturer, the actual factory who is going to print it, and ask specifically which Pantone color they're going to be using, because these are different. But let's say we use Pantone CMYK coated. And in this case, you can see that there are a lot of different colors here in Adobe Illustrator. And what you can do, you can match this shade of green as closely as possible to one of these shades from greenish colors or from here. See, you can match all the blue, the purple. And then once you do that, you will have all of these colors and they will have actual numbers. See, if you hover over it, you will see the number, the color book, and then the color number. This way, the manufacturer, the factory will know exactly which colors you chose. So even if you already selected the colors and they're not Pantone, you can do this later in case a client is asking for this. So that was the tip about Pantone colors. Next, tip number 5. Color combinations need to have enough contrast. This is so important, and one of the main mistakes I see that concerns colors in repeat pattern designer beginners. I see that they want to make this very subtle look. However, a subtle look will not print well or even show up well on devices, on different screens. So it's very, very important to have your color combinations, even the subtle ones, but the ones with a very subtle texture and difference, have contrasting enough to actually print well, because they might look like misprinting or printing errors when you create and see your fabric or whatever you're printing your repeat patterns on. You will need to be very mindful of enough contrast. Okay, so what I What do I mean here? Let me show you again in Adobe Illustrator. So let's go to this file. Here I have the background and I have all of these vector elements on top. And right now, depending on how you're watching this, let me close this thing 1 second. So depending on how you watch this, you will see or not see whatever I have here. And I actually outlined it so that when I click on it, you can see that I selected a bunch of elements. So this is not contrasting enough. Even if it looks contrasting enough to you, this will still have a chance of not printing correctly. So how do you fix it? For option number 1, make the background a little darker. So I double clicked on the fill, and we can do here on the fill, and then you can just drag it to make it a little bit darker. And here you see more contrast, or you can click on these elements and then again double click on fill and then make it a little bit brighter. Just even sometimes a little bit could still already give you a better file for printing. The client, if they download your file, they might make it darker, lighter, change the colors, and that's okay too. However, in your particular case, you are responsible to adding enough contrast and into your files. And also, if there's not enough contrast, your person who is looking for your files online, they might not be able to even see what's on the design and not even click on it and not purchase it. So make sure to add enough contrast.
Want monthly live training and coaching like this one? Well, I invite you to join my Pattern Group Coaching membership and get a bonus course right away, $79 value. It's my Create Your Logo Watermark online course in which you will learn how to protect your work when you publish it online for promoting yourself, as well as your design skills and how to attract design clients automatically using that system. Very, very helpful and available right away when you join the membership, as well as you get 6 bonus 1-hour plus recordings of previous masterclasses, all on the topic of repeat pattern design, and you also get an awesome community support and great live events. If you like this video, please hit that like button for me and share with your creative friends who might find this video helpful, as well as subscribe to my channel because I publish videos very regularly, and please hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever a new video comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Grow, love, and create, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!